Hello. Hi, everyone. Here is another Friday night Antoine Anonymous meeting. Let's say meeting. Addiction, mental health, and recovery. We're doing that tonight. We're here together, support each other, answer each other's questions, talk about our own experiences, our strength and hope, how we can carry the message to the still suffering addict, all that kind of stuff. So I think we have 6 viewers as of now. Is that true? Concurrent viewers. So you can introduce yourself, say how you're doing, talk about your struggles, like me, recovering addict, Antoine, obviously, always in recovery, We talked about that last meeting. We talked about how we're always in a state of recovery. We're never recovered, and this is how you stay clean. But today we don't have to talk about that. There's a lot of things to talk about. I can actually whip up the Serenity Prayer. There it is. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. That's a great prayer. I talked about that before. Hey, Tina, what's up? I heard you got a new cat. That's amazing. That should make you a little bit happy, yeah? I mean, little kittens and cats and stuff, it's always brings a little bit of joy. A lot of work, but a lot of joy too. Serenity Prayer. Obviously, you accept the things you can't change, because if you can't change them, I mean, why would you want to, like the rain. You can't change the rain, so if you're mad at the rain, you're in a lot of trouble, right? You're going to feel like shit. And then things you can change, you ask for courage, because sometimes it's hard to change. And then the wisdom to know which is which. So that's the Serenity Prayer here. Boom. But today, what we can do, send me pictures later. I'm curious. But today, what we can do, we can go through the just for today. And today, June 13th. Oh my God, it's Friday the 13th. Tina, you must be loving that. It gets a little bit spooky on Friday the 13th, and you like being spooky sometimes. So, shout out to Tina. It's Friday the 13th. Okay, so let's do the reading. We have 10 viewers right now, so I'm going to start the reading. So for those who don't know, that just for today is a daily reflections reading that the NA program have. It's like a book pretty much every day. There's a different text, a different reflection from the basic text, which is like the main book that people get their information from in NA. So this is made so we can reflect on our own recovery and talk about it. That's how I see it, at least. I don't know if it's the point of this or not, but to me, that's what it is. Makes you think about your own recovery, and makes you talk about it with other people, or at least reflect, right? So June 13, A Full Life, page 171. The program works a miracle in our lives. We become free to live. Basic text, page 11. So maybe that's in the promises or something, because it's the beginning of the basic text. Most of us, if we've been in recovery for any length of time at all, have heard some member complaining in a meeting about being terribly overworked, too busy for meetings or sponsorship or other activities. In fact, we may have been the complaining member. The days seem so full: job, family, and friends, meetings, activities, sponsorship, step work. There just aren't enough hours in the day, the member complains, to get everything done and meet everyone's demands on my time. All right, let's look at the paragraph for a sec. I mean, obviously, we can't create more time, but we can make time for stuff, right? And for me, I always need to put recovery in the highest priority. And if I feel like doing 4 meetings in a week is what I need to do, I'm gonna make time for it. But lately, I've been doing 1 meeting a week, and sometimes it happens that like last week, I again was competing. I didn't get to go, but there's like if you live in a big city, there's a meeting every day. There's no excuses really. So let's keep that in mind. And if it's not, you can change like the word meetings by doing whatever you need to do to take care of your problem, right? So it doesn't have to be about meetings and stuff. So let's say if you're struggling with something else and you need to do therapy about something and you're finding excuses, I don't have time for this, don't have time for that. Well, let's see the rest of the text, how this turns out. It says, when this happens, usually there's a soft laughter from someone, from some of the other members, probably members who had planned to grumble about the same sort of thing. The laughter stems from our recognition that we are complaining about the miracle, the life that is ours today. Oh, boom, bars. Right? It's like, oh, I work too much. I need to spend time with my family. Need to do this and do that. And then for me, as I remember that, oh yeah, I remember when I was like in rehab, hating myself. Well, what a blessing it is to complain about these things right now. So then it's all about gratitude. So let's keep going. Not so long ago, few of us were capable of having any of these problems in our life. We devoted all our energy to maintaining our active addiction. Yeah, that's true. Today, we have full lives, complete with all the feelings and problems that go with living in reality. Well, yeah, that's what I said. I was busy hating myself in rehab. I was busy going around and trying to avoid getting caught doing drugs and just thinking that, I had to like hide myself, and sometimes I really did hide myself from other people that cared about me. And then I was just kind of running around. This is all I did. If I would relapse, and it's like, oh, how can I avoid the consequences and keep using? So, and then that's what I did. And then I just end up losing everything every time, right? Losing everything, except like if I would catch myself soon enough. Like last time, I kind of did check myself into rehab, but that's because I I knew where it was going. I knew where it was going. So, yeah, my biggest problem was like I can't stop doing drugs. That was my main, and then all kind of bad consequences came after that. And now my problems are, oh, I don't know. What the fuck's my problem right now? I have no idea what my problems are. Oh, I need to manage my time better because I want to do more work and, not waste as much time in a day. That's the biggest of my problem right now. That's crazy, right? I could complain about that, but I won't because just, there's nothing to complain. I should be grateful that this is the struggle for me right now. This is my biggest problem is that I wish I had more time to do more things. Yeah, Tina, it's 1 month, 24 days, clean the day, happy and grateful. Oh, the whole chat is clapping. And congrats, Tina. One day at a time, remember? So tomorrow, you wake up, and then you focus on the same thing. It's good. It's good. You're proud of. I'm way more proud of myself when I'm racking up another day clean. I achieve something, and I don't pick up. And the next day, I'm proud of myself. That's the best. Okay, so the last sentence here. Just for today, I will remember that my life is a miracle. Instead of resenting of how busy I am, I will be thankful my life is so full. Yeah, that's good, right? I mean, even if the life is like, somebody could say like, yeah, but I'm the opposite. I'm bored. I'm bored. I got nothing to do. I think that's a kind of a great spot to be in. Are you bored or you're depressed? Right? It's different. For me, I don't think I could ever be bored. There's always something to do. I mean, unless you're sitting me in a room with nothing to do on a chair, like, hey, sit there. I mean, I'm gonna start thinking, I guess, right? But if you're just at home and you got like the whole world as your oyster, and you say you're bored, that's a great spot to be in. There's so much shit to do. There's so much stuff to do. And then if if that's your problem now, and then before, when you had like real problems, for example, I don't know. I'm talking to everyone in general here. You got to look back. Like I wish back then, when you struggled at your most, you probably wish you were bored. If I have a bad day today, if I would go back to like 3 days after in rehab and hating myself, I wished I had like my worst day right now. Really. So it's all about perspective. But sometimes, for me, is that I get you can easily lose track of this. This is why doing shit like that is good. You can read, you can talk about it, introspect, or you hear someone talk about it, like you guys right now. It's good. So I'll read it again, the last line. Just for today, I will remember that my life is a miracle. When it says my life is a miracle, I mean, when you think about it, all our lives are. I've seen my son birth, my son's birth in person. It was me, my wife, and the midwife in a room. I saw everything. So yes, I do believe it's a miracle. But for some people, it's even a miracle that they're still alive and doing well. The way I was going, it wasn't going well. And I know a lot of people from the program that their life was like, ooh, it wasn't looking good, you know? Like being alive was, it didn't seem like that was the priority for some of us, right? And now, like some of us, if we find the path, are living like great lives. That's the miracle. How can someone was so fixated on destroying themselves, and now they're like thriving? How do you go from one extreme, obsessed about doing a habit that kills, that would like I don't even know if you can say that word on YouTube. I'll get censored. If you look at someone who was obsessed about destroying their own lives, and now you go from one extreme of like obsession like that to the other extreme where they're doing really, really well, that's a miracle. Because most people never will change habits, right? It's actually really, really hard for everyone to change habits. Everyone, especially somebody with addicted prone brain. Like me, sometimes there's habits probably that are hard to change. But the cool thing is that if you get a good habit in there, and you actually enjoy it, it's easy to do because you like the brain. My brain likes patterns, right? So it's a good reading. It's a good reading. I'm just gonna remove it from the screen. Unless you guys have a question. There's 8 viewers right now. Do you have any questions about this reading? Do you have any questions about your own struggles? Do you need help? I'm here. Hello. Do you need help? Do you know something bothered you lately? There's something that that you struggled with. You want to share with these 7 other people? Can hear you out here, right? You don't have to. But anybody else? If not, I'm going to try and think of something. Let me think here. One sec. I got to find something. One second. What is the main struggle of people trying to stop doing drugs when they first start? All right, craving, withdrawals, social pressure. Hmm. Uh, these are all good. And we can talk about that stuff. I'll put that on the screen. One second. It's kind of cool things. Okay. One second. I'm using OBS. It's working pretty good. Book. You guys see this? All right. That's cool, right? So here we have a little different subjects. Cravings. The brain has been conditioned to see the drug for reward or relief. Shitty spot to be in, right? Imagine you feel bad, and then your brain is a very addicted brain, right? How do I say that? Addictive personality. You have a big addictive personality, and then you feel really, really bad, and then, hey, Wissam, see what's up? Things are good. How are you? And then let's say like your brain is a very addictive personality brain, and then you're feeling like awful. You're really hurt, feeling really, really, really bad, and then you find something that's outside of you, right? And then you feel good right away. It's like, wow, your brain will remember that, right? It will remember that. And then anytime, if you do it often enough, anytime you feel something or you feel bad, turn up my mic. Okay. How's that? Is that better? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so anytime you're gonna feel something, even if it's good or bad at that point, you're gonna want to do that thing that made you feel good. So let's say if you drink a glass of wine because you feel like, I don't know, anxious, right? And then you're gonna drink the wine. Even more. Hello, 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 hello. Is that better, Taylor? I feel like it's really loud in my ears, but whatever. Up, up, up. Yeah, so every time you're going to feel something, your brain is going to want to do drugs. So let's say if you feel anxious, you drink wine. Every time you feel anxious, you drink wine. And then you're going to start feeling anxious when you don't have wine. It's going to do the opposite effect. And then you will get like some type of relief only when you have wine. And then at some point, you'll start feeling not even anxious. You'll start feeling something else. There's I want to get some wine. So every time you're gonna feel an emotion, I'm happy. Let's celebrate. I'm gonna drink wine. I'm sad. Let's drink wine. And then you end up drinking wine all the time. If you have an addictive personality, right? And then every time you don't have wine, you're gonna have a craving. Here we go. These cravings can be overwhelming, especially in familiar environments or emotional states. For me, it was very much emotional states. I would probably always except one time I went to a rave and I had a slip or whatever when I was in recovery back in 2017. Every other time that I had cravings was and relapses. It kind of started I decided I was at home. I was at home or something, and I was hurt. Probably related to a girl or something at the time. And then I was my craving was too much. I guess my recovery was too weak. That's what happened. A lot of people struggle with withdrawals. So that's when you've been doing the drug for a while and then you stop. There's some consequences to that. You can have anxiety, depression, nausea, pain, insomnia, irritability. This can make stopping feel unbearable without help, especially for opiates, painkillers, right? Imagine you're using something to like numb the pain, and then your pain threshold, like kind of like it's like bodybuilders who diet. You know, the hungry hormone's gonna go up, but when you're busy like training, whatever, you not feel hungry. But then after the show, you stop like whatever it is, you're gonna feel the hunger so much more. So with it's a bad example. Let's say you mask the pain, but then you get a tolerance to the painkiller, so the pain readjusts itself to the new normal. So now if you don't do the drug, the pain will be just living will be pain. You'll just be existing in your bed or whatever, and then you'll feel like you're gonna die. You will be dying. So that's what opiates, right? You feel like you're dying, pretty much, which is crazy. Feeling like you're dying is really scary. Happened to me once. Thought I was dying. It was really scary. So imagine that you're trying to stop doing drugs and then you feel like you're dying. So people like a lot of people in rehab that I met, they were not. They were using drugs. They got addicted to drugs because they just didn't want to. They were afraid of getting sick. Well, that's what they told me, right? I'm just using drugs because I'm afraid of getting dope sick. I believe them. It didn't seem like they wanted to party, right? It didn't look like they were explaining to me like what their habit. It didn't sound like a party. So I didn't understand. I didn't understand it. But everybody uses stuff for different reasons. And some people will use, well, let's see here, emotional regulation. Many people use drugs to cope with trauma, stress, or mental health issues. Without a drug, those feelings return, and they may not have other tools to handle them yet. Yeah. Self-medicate. A lot of people will do that. Hussam, I'm doing just fine. Alhamdulillah. Yes. I'm getting ready for my morning prayer. That's awesome, man. Have a good prayer. I'm happy you're here. Yeah, so many people use drugs to cope with trauma, stress. Yeah, self-medication. The thing is, these guys will also like feel something and then use the drug to like fix how they feel. It's pretty much any time you're going to use a substance to change how you feel, you're feeding your addiction in a sense. You have to be really careful. I mean, some things are not as bad as others, right? Let's say you're tired in the morning. I'm tired. And then you want to have a coffee to be more awake. You're using a drug to just feel differently. But it's like, whatever, it's coffee. It's not ruining your life. Like, where do you draw the line? I think it's when there's a risk or the drug is actually taking control over you and ruining your life and your health. So this is when addiction comes in. But a lot of people use drugs for emotional regulation. And the crazy thing is that, let's say if you're 19 years old, you're feeling bad because of mental health issues, or you don't know how to handle emotions, and you're kind of scared in public, so you start doing drugs to just like socialize or whatever and just be normal. At 19 years old, if you keep doing drugs for until you're, hey, hello Brendan, Looney Tunes fans. Do you still like Looney Tunes? And if you keep doing drugs until you're like 30, so that's like 11 years of doing drugs, but you stop at 30, your emotional intelligence will be the one of a 19-year-old, of a teenager. So if you start doing drugs at like 15 years old, and then you're 45 and you stop, your emotional intelligence will be the one of a 15-year-old. Because I think the crucial year between 15 and 25 for a man, I'm talking for a man because I'm a man, but a girl is probably like a little bit younger than that, but it's like the brain is not fully formed yet. Imagine that. And then you're pumping drugs into it. Yeah, how you're supposed to learn how to cope with your emotions and how to cope with life as it is if you're just like don't even see life as it is. You have a filter on it, a drug filter, making things like not real. Well, different for you. Probably seem real for you, but for everyone else looking at you, they're like, what the hell? This guy's a weirdo, right? But to you, everyone else is a weirdo. but that's another subject. But social pressure, if their friends or environment still revolve around drug use, it's hard to break away. Yeah, so this makes me think of places, people, and things. People, places, and things. Where it's like if you want to stop doing drugs, you gotta get away from the people who are using it, the places they do it, and you gotta get rid of the things you use to do drugs or things that make you think about drugs or make you do drugs, right? Because everything that triggers you at first, it's kind of a good idea to get away from it, even if it's your friend that you're supposed to love, right? Sometimes we think we love somebody, and then you remove the drug and you try to see what the friendship is, and it's like there's nothing there. What was holding the relationship together were the bad habit. Yeah, so that could be even like for like a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Michael Burns, thank you so much, Antoine. Much needed. Have abused food to self-medicate. That abuse of food when it seemed that serious. Oh, it is serious. You know what's crazy about sugar? It will spike your dopamine. Like if you give me a chocolate with like sea salt and like whatever sea salt, and like if you mix fat, salt, and sugar together, it's like holy shit. It is like a drug. The feeling you have when you like chew that and then you put that in a pill, people will get addicted to that. But enough triggering you because your food is your drug. It is really hard to stop to probably fix that because you're almost in a harder spot than a lot of drug addicts. Because for example, I can live my life without all these drugs, right? I can live my life. You need food to live, but you're addicted to food at the same time. It's kind of like a tough spot because you actually are the only addict, the addict kind that has to control their drug. And I know that how it works because I know somebody who was in Overeaters Anonymous. How it works, there is a food that are triggers. For example, if you eat chicken, vegetable, a little bit of plain rice, that might not trigger you to like binge, right? For example. But if you eat like a chip or a chocolate cake, these are like maybe triggering foods for somebody who has eating problems. And these foods will have a domino effect and then the binging start. Sometimes people eat until they feel really full and sick, and then they feel really guilty and ashamed, like a drug addict doing drugs, and then they come down, right? So yeah, it's really bad. It's like you feel you eat, you feel bad, and then you feel ashamed, and then at some point you feel emotionally hurt about something or lonely. You go back to food, and then the cycle starts again. So sometimes it's just we have to learn how to live with our feelings, right? For somebody who will binge eat like snacks or whatever, it will also be the same reason why they do it as for the drug addict. Like a drug addict will use drugs for the same reason somebody will use food or do all kinds of this stuff. So it is serious. The only thing is that it doesn't really kill you right away, right? Like fentanyl will like pretty much like take your life if you're with just 1 grain of sand more, or if you don't know you have it in something and then you take it. Chocolate cake will take a while to kill you, but it might at some point. Tina, I try not to be distracted, but man, you get it in so cute. No, it's fine. I'm sure my voice is soothing him in the back, unless you got headphones on. It's not a problem. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, so let's keep going with this. So 5, it says loss of identity or purpose. For some, drug use has become part of who they are or how they function. Quitting can feel like losing part of themselves. You know what? It kind of felt like that for me too, actually. In rehab, they actually made me write a letter. Like write a grieving letter to your addiction, like it was a person. Like a person died, and then I had to like write a letter to that person that wasn't there anymore. So I had to write a letter of like a grievance and to my addiction. I it was kind of abstract. I kind of did it, but you know what? You know what it was? You know what it was? Why I didn't like to do it? Because there's a part of me that didn't want to give it up. And back then, when I wrote that, I actually went to rehab like two more times after that. So it's like I didn't want to give up my addiction because it's like it was like part of who I was. Part of me like really enjoyed like some of the stuff on it, right? Obviously, is the reason I did it. It was a lot of fun in a sense sometimes, or else I would have not done it. If it was like shit from like as soon as I do it, I feel like shit right away. I would have not done it. There was some type of relief and some type of like stimulation that I really enjoyed from it. So, and then part of that became who I was. I remember when I would get clean, I would try to do like some of the stuff I did, like just like, but like so it didn't work. It didn't work. Have you ever tried going to a rave when you're like clean? It's not the same at all. You're like, I want to go home. I want to watch TV, you know. And then you have the rave on drugs. You're like, you want to keep going. It's just like it's a place where it's like the drug enhances the experience, but like no, the drug makes the experience. It doesn't really enhance it. Unless you really have this like a really good DJ or something. Maybe I could see that, but it's like too late, right? Why am I, you know, normally without drugs, I would never be up at like 4 a.m. at comfort zone or something, right? It doesn't work. When you're on drugs, it makes a lot of sense to go there. But yeah, I didn't want to give up my identity of a party guy, I guess, you know. But the thing that saved me actually is that when I wasn't doing drugs, my identity was the pro athlete, pro bodybuilder, right? So Tina says, I went to see Avril Lavigne last week and it was the second concert I've been to sober. Oh, good. It was great. That's good. Probably because it's actually, you actually listen to the music all the time, right? But for me, it would be kind of weird if I would go to a rave, listen to like a 3 hours techno set. And there would be, you know, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, people see concerts all the time, but it's cool you can do that. Did you feel any cravings when you were there, Tina, at the Avril Lavigne concert? Or you were fine the whole time? You just enjoyed the music, went home right away, didn't even look at the... Because people, I guess, drink beer there, right? And I guess smoke weed. Yeah, I couldn't do a race. I couldn't do a race. Rave. Yeah. Um, Quitting can feel like, yeah, I agree with that. And then 6, fear of facing life sober, facing responsibilities. Oh, you did have cravings, but your cousin, yeah, that's good. Sober partner. Usually those help a lot. If I would go to an event that's like, let's say I would go to a day party because there's with this DJ that I really like, I would go like with somebody else that's clean and sober that would really help me out. And then we kind of support each other. It's like this. It's like the meetings, right? Recovering addicts can really help other recovering addicts because they got a connection. And I've said it last week. Connection is the opposite of addiction, right? So if you want to stay away from addiction, you got to connect with other people that support you. And then there's no one else that can support you as much as another recovering addict that knows exactly what you went through. So that's a good idea. Good comment. You know, fear of facing life sober, facing responsibilities, regrets, or emotions without the drug can be scary. Ooh, spooky. Especially if they haven't been sober in a long time. I agree with that. I agree with that. There was a reason why I was afraid of either how it felt to not be on the drug. I was afraid of feeling that the thought of not doing the drug anymore ever. There was the reason why I didn't want to stop. Yeah, of course, I was addicted, but there was probably a lot of fear into that, even if I didn't want to admit it or not. And then the thing that's crazy is that, let's say if I was at the end of my bender or whatever, right? I was like, oh my god, I don't want to face the consequences or the emotions or whatever it is that it's gonna happen because I haven't texted anyone in a week and I've been out and about doing drugs with like God knows who. And then I was supposed to stop in my head 2 days ago, so I should stop. Should be stopping now. That would be the good thing to do, but no, because I don't want to feel the consequences yet. So you know what? I'm just gonna do. I would find an excuse. I'll do the rest of the bag, and then the bag was done. You know what? I'm just gonna get this one more bag, and I think if I end on a Friday night and then sleep the weekend off, start Monday, it will be good. Then Friday night I would be like feeling really good that you know what? It's the weekend anyway. I'll just stop and I'll just do another day and then rest Sunday all day. I'll sleep all day Sunday. And then Sunday morning would arrive. I still got some time. I'll just sleep tonight and wake up like Monday morning or something. And it would always be like that because I would always find a reason to not stop. So I wouldn't want to feel whatever life was sober at that point in time. So yeah, so it's all these things like can have someone keep doing drugs. So I don't know if any of you guys can relate to any of that, but it's not easy. It's like your brain is made to create patterns, and there's a reward system in it that was very useful for survival at some point in time, right? Like I'll take the food example again. So this craving for food and the dopamine hits that happen when you eat like tasty food. This back then was like, wow, tasty food, which have a lot of calories, and you need calories to survive. We need calories to survive. So back then, calories were scarce. The brain was rewarding you with dopamine when you found good tasting food that was full with calories, because maybe if it wasn't rewarding enough, you wouldn't eat it and then you would die. So your brain made it happen. Like, you know what? The brain made it so that eating these foods really triggered your dopamine reward system. So what was saving your life back then is killing you now today. Because we got the same brain. We got the same brain. The brain that helped us survive 10,000 years ago. Some of us were hunter-gatherers. Some of us were ancient civilizations, I believe. I think at that point, it's like the myth has been busted pretty much. But back then, now it's like we got the same brain. Even 50,000 years ago, we got the same caveman brain. But now, like, food is readily available. I can go on this phone here and then order Uber Eats. I can order ice cream. I can order something that the caveman's mind would be blown if he would taste it. It would eat ice cream and be like, it's like, was it Encino Man? Yeah, that's what it is. The Encino Man. It's like this caveman is frozen, comes back to life, and then he just eats ice cream off the tap and he's freaking out and then gets a brain freeze. Oh man, what a flashback. I remember that movie. It's hilarious. But yeah, so it's true though. That's why people are addicted to food. Is because like there's an overcompensation of dopamine. Like, why do we love it so much? Like, how would we end up like that? Because we had to have it to love it that much. Back then, it's like sex, for example. Imagine if like the caveman didn't want to have sex as much as like everyone today. And then there's like less people. The girls are like all like angry and hairy and just like probably like savages, right? I wouldn't want to mess with a cave woman, you know, that has like 2 kids to take care of, and the dad is just like out there hunting all day. Comes home, doesn't have a deer for the family. She would probably be really mad. But you know what's crazy? They had to be attracted to each other enough to multiply in that state. So the way people were horny back then was really helpful for survival. But today, you don't need to be that horny, right? But people get stuck with porn addiction. And then it just like, the brain rewards himself. It thinks you're kind of having sex, but you're not really having sex. So people get addicted to all kinds of stuff, including each other, including habits, including like some type of like OnlyFans content, including webcam girls, including drugs, including. I'm gonna get flagged for this live stream for sure. I've said the word dying like fucking 50 times, but hey, you guys know what I mean, right? Anyways, I've done a good 43 minutes, 42 minutes. I'm really happy people showed up. No one was really chatty this time around, but shout out to Tina that participated. Husan, who's waking up for his morning prayer. Michael Burns for sharing about his food addiction. Tina and her cat. Shout out to her kitten. What's her name? What's his name? But anyways, if anybody has another question, I'm gonna shut it down. And I'll see you guys next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Every week, I've committed. I'm doing it. So, yeah. Any questions? Any burdens? Have a good night, Brandon Wallet. Yeah, send me photos of Spike, your cat. I would love to see Spike. And I wish you all a good Friday. It's Friday night. It doesn't mean you need to go out. Yeah, happiness to you. Good night. All right, everyone, take care. And remember, one day at a time.